by the looks of it.
Good afternoon, everybody. I hope everybody had a great weekend. Don't forget that we were off on Friday for the 4th of July celebration. I have just been beaten up by a 3-month-old for the last half hour. I finally got him settled. Anybody messes with him or wakes him up, I will, well, I can't say on air, but you know what the word is. It's 4 letters, begins with a K and ends with an L.
Yeah.
Yep.
You will
Yep.
dismember them slowly, one piece at a time.
Exactly. That's how
No
it's
need for four-lettered words when you can just give a description of what it's going to be
there you go.
in
I like
great
that.
detail.
I like that. So it was
Yeah, now they can't get you for the word when you can just, give great detail of
yeah,
actions.
the description. So I finally just got him laid down, but I'm patting his back. He's like after you've been crying and like how you do that, like
The hiccups.
yeah, and the hiccups and stuff. He's got that really bad.
Poor little guy. Something's not right. And it's just colicky. I mean, there ain't much
Yeah.
you can do. I mean,
No.
in all the generations that colic has been a problem with babies,
You would think that they
they've
would be.
found
Yeah.
nothing to make it better except
Mm-hmm.
just let the baby cry it out.
Yep.
There's nothing.
And we're talking, he screamed. At the top of his lungs for half an hour. He was unconsolable. There was
Oh,
nothing.
yeah.
Punching, hitting, scratching, bobbing that big head of his. So,
Sounds like little guy just needs a vacation from being a little guy.
uh-huh. And I need a vacation from the little guy.
Yeah. You guys could take a vacation away from each other together.
Yeah, and that's exactly what's going to happen this weekend.
Uh, Little guy just ain't feeling good. You're not feeling good. It's a bad combo.
Nope, it's not. So, I may have to, if perchance they call, I'll have to dip out real quick and I'll come back. So, if I disappear, you know that they're on the phone. All right.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. So why don't we get the show started? We have a lot of material to cover through Friday, and we want to try to be finished with all of this by the end of the
Yeah.
week. So, do we have any articles or anything that need to be read?
One
Or the
second while I
videos?
get the last of the links sent
Okay.
out.
No problem. How is your technical support issues going?
Um, what support? What do you mean support?
Okay then.
I have been all over the place doing a dozen other things other than what I needed to do to get shit done right.
I see.
So of course, why would I take time to fix the tech issues when there's other issues that are more pressing?
Well, isn't that always the case?
Yeah, 'tis life, right?
Yeah, exactly.
But we've made it through it. We'll be fine. Anywho, well, let me bounce around between. Why did I just do that? That is not what I wanted to do. One of these days, I'll get my shit on right, my shit together right. I promise.
No.
Absolutely promise. Just it ain't gonna be today. You wanted to do an article?
If we have any, let's get them out of the way.
Well, because it's between two separate show note documents, I'm bouncing back and forth, so be patient. It's going to take me longer to find things.
Okay, well,
Um,
just play a video then. Just finish up where you're at then. I don't want to drive you crazy.
I wasn't at anywhere. I was literally, we were all but a few things caught up. Um, we can cover the what's his face thing. We've got Mom Donnie. We have that chick from the White House whose name was driving me nuts because I can't tell if her parents hate her. Um, then we have at least 2 days worth of Mom Donnie
Yeah,
stuff to
leave
begin
yeah,
with.
leave Mondami altogether. We'll do him all together.
Yeah, I'm scrolling through.
Okay.
We have a lot that we could cover.
Okay.
Um, I don't know what.
All right.
Take a throw a dart.
All right, then let's just go back and let's pick up what we have to finish off. I know we have all that Cash Jordan stuff.
Oh yeah, that
Yeah.
stuff too. Yeah,
Yeah, why don't
this
we
is why I we've got to combine this. Where was the Cash Jordan ones? Actually, no, those were not in here. They were in here. Did we cover those already?
not to my knowledge.
Huh.
We had that
That's
and
interesting.
we had Blue.
Yeah, I swear I put all those links in here. I'm absolutely 100% positive I put all those links in here. Where the hell did they go?
Je ne sais pas. Are we experiencing technical difficulties?
It's not a technical difficulty, it's where the fuck did the links go to?
Okay then.
And I knew I had them on here. Um, that's what doesn't make sense. Is I legit had those on here. Um, Interesting. If I don't have the videos in the file, that means we covered them. Let me double check the files because if they're not in the file, it means we absolutely covered them somewhere. And it looks like we did.
Hmm.
Yeah, we did cover the Cash Jordan once. Um,
Do we do Blues?
mm, no, his
Okay.
is still available.
All right. Well,
So,
why don't we round off with that? Let's start out with that.
yeah, that's
I don't remember Cash Jordan.
interesting.
I don't remember doing any Cash Jordan stuff. Or you know what? Yes, I do.
I was gonna say because I don't clear the links or delete the videos until we've covered them
I
for sure.
remember now. I remember we finished off on Friday with it. I remember.
Okay, have me confused here for a moment.
I'm
Um,
confused.
well, we all are.
Yeah.
So, all right. So, here we go. We have our first video. Let me do a media share transition and we can hit play.
He cracks me up. He got his face smashed against the the bumper piece to the insert with his
Aw,
pacifier jammed up there. His nose, his head.
he's cozy. All right, let's hit play.
I got a good picture for you. I forgot to send to you.
Okay.
Iran just attacked U.S. bases, a U.S. base there in Qatar. But there is big breaking news about that as well. That again lead me to believe that Trump knew that this was going to happen. So here we go. So U.S. cities are now under high watch alert. We are under alert. The closest U.S. bases in Iran or in Qatar, Bahrain, Kuwait, and Iraq. The one in Qatar was just struck, but there was preemptive warning. A preemptive warning was given. Why? There was little to no damage.
Yeah,
Is
no, I
Iran
didn't get
as
a chance to watch
strong
that
as a lot of
video
people
yet that you
anticipate that they
sent me.
are, or they
I have
are
no
are they
sound
just
on
as weak?
Lou's
Um,
video.
You should have sound.
Crazy B.
Can you hear me?
Can you hear me?
I can hear you. You
You can't
obviously
hear
can't
me.
hear me. I can hear you.
Or you can hear me and I can't hear you, which means who knows what. Um, this thing hates me.
Okay. She will be right back for those who are watching. Patience is a virtue, right? If it ain't one thing, it's another. Oh, he looks so cute in that picture. Oh my goodness. Hi, I hear you're back. I'm looking at little guy's picture. Oh, he is so cute.
Mm-hmm. Big eyes, huh?
Big ol' eyes and those chubby little arms and hands. Oh
Mm.
my god. He's just so cute. Okay. Oh, we were going to finish this video.
Yeah, I didn't hear any of it.
Do you want me to restart it?
No, that's okay.
Okay.
they warned Americans on the base. Why? If the damage was to actually go to war with the United States of America, why give a warning? Well, this shows, in my opinion, that the Trump move may have just worked. That by Trump doing what he did, you got the Iranians literally warning Americans to leave the base. So it's something to talk about. I guess people are saying that the strike was just to save face, that it really didn't matter, that they just have to show a force. They're not as strong as they actually proclaim, and they actually don't want to kill American soldiers. So again, we'll get to that. So I'm here in New York City, and everybody is panicking now. A lot of Democrats that were pushing they were pushing open borders. They're the main ones that are online panicking about the fact that there could be some type of attack here in U.S. soil. Yeah, most of them were intercepted in the air. There was videos that came out of them being interceptions. And Iran just, I don't know, guys. I think Trump saw weakness in Iran, and I think that could also be one of the main reasons why Trump decided to act now. Iran isn't as strong as they proclaim to be, in my opinion. But there has been retaliation. What is Trump going to do here? That's going to be the question, because there were no American people hurt in this. And nothing pretty much happened. They were just out there saving face, and nothing much happened. So, what is Trump going to do? That's the main question. But yeah, so many people are out here. They're worried, guys. They're panicking. They're like, oh my God, there's going to be an attack on U.S. soil. World War III is coming. They have no idea what's going on. And that's actually crazy to me, because these are the same people that were pushing for open borders. Remember, Trump came and he was on stage, and Trump was pretty much saying, hey, we're letting all these people in. They're being unvetted. We don't know who they are. They could be terrorists. And a lot of people were saying, well, that's racist, Trump. You can't say that. And now look who's right. Look who is right, ladies and gentlemen. It turns out that Trump was actually right. And now these panicans, being Democrats, are now the ones in fear of what could happen. So, yeah, that is pretty crazy. So we have that. So we got the major reports: Iran, and also North Korea. North Korea came out and basically came out against the United States of America. North Korea is being jumpy. All of a sudden, North Korea wants to.
So basically, every country that's ever had a bone to pick with us has decided that they need to back Iran.
Exactly.
Got it. I
Mm-hmm.
mean, everyone who's had an issue with us since World War II is all of a sudden like, yeah, you know what? With the exception of Japan,
Mm-hmm.
because Japan just cannot have its own military. It depends solely on us for any and all defense. I don't see it going well if they were to try to back Iran. But,
Right.
all the other countries are like, I got two middle fingers for the United States. And yeah, they've been itching for it for a long
You know,
time.
I didn't even think about that. We always talk about Israel. We never talk about the support that we give to Japan and Taiwan.
Oh no, no, no. Japan, we have no choice.
Right. I
Japan,
understand.
we literally their balls belong to us,
Oh, I know
thanks to
that.
World War II.
Right. I understand that. I'm just saying that it's never that in Taiwan or seldom brought up like Israel is.
Yeah, well, Taiwan is strategically a very brilliant thing to back
Right.
because you do not want China taking them. When it
Correct.
comes to the electronics manufacturing and stuff, I mean, to me, that's a common sense thing. Taiwan is an automatic. We need to back them up and we need to, work with them and try and keep China at bay for the sake of Taiwan, because well, shit, we like our cheap electronics, right?
Right. The
So
father,
yeah,
the
for me,
father
and
of
that's
the,
why they don't get
yeah,
brought up, is because it's like common sense.
the father of the child just opened the door, and I just put my hand up and said, "Stop! Don't even enter the house." When he wakes back up, I'll call him.
There you go. That is an option.
Yeah, I can't wake him up. He's been through too much.
Oh yeah, that makes sense though. I
I
mean, little dude
literally,
needs a break.
yeah, I have my whole forearm over his stomach, and my hand is wrapped around his back
Uh-huh.
with a pressure on it. Anyway, I digress. Sorry about that.
Oh no, it's okay. It's okay. I just wasn't sure if little guy was stirring or whatnot, if I needed to keep
No,
my mouth shut for a few more
no, no. Go
minutes.
ahead. We're good.
Okay,
Go.
let's get through the last of this video then.
Okay.
To step in and defend the Iranians. So again, what does that even mean? All of a sudden now these allies want to get involved. We know how bloodthirsty the North Koreans are. Venezuela came out as well. There's a lot of nations that have come out and basically saying that the United States of America shouldn't have done this. But at this point, here's another point that I want to put. Now, North Korea definitely has the nukes. So here's another thing. A lot of people are becoming patriotic already here at this point. I'm anti-war. Lie to you. There's a lot of people coming out. Oh, I'm on the side of Iran. Iran has a right to defend itself. I think it's a little too late for that, in my opinion. Here's why. Iran at this point and the people of the Middle East who hate America, they hate America so much that they don't care. Yeah. So say that Iran informed the United States ahead of its attacks. Man, that's so gangster. Yo, it's so crazy that Iran.
I want to point out, Iran didn't do that because it was their creative idea. It's something Israel has been doing for decades.
Mm-hmm.
I
They just
love the way he thinks it's so gangster when Iran does it, but did you hear him say that about Israel? I'm not trying to be mean, I'm just asking a question. I don't think I've ever heard Lutz say that about Israel. And so it's like, I'm wondering. I'm
well.
wondering.
I think it's probably because Israel does it all the time, right? And
Yeah.
this is probably the first time we ever heard Iran do it, or have they done it in the past?
I am not aware because it's very rare that Iran attacks anyone directly. They usually use Hamas or the Houthis or some other dingbats to do it for them.
Right, right,
So it's not like Iran's ever directly responsible, but they are, guilty by association type of shit. So
right.
I think it's because Israel is supposed to tell us. They don't just tell us though, Vanilla. So they tell like all of Palestine, all of Gaza. They'll be like, "We are bombing this building at this time. Get the hell out if you value your life." and Hamas won't let people leave. And then they're like, "Oh, see, they're bombing civilians." And now we have Iran trying to pull the same number, and it's like, I don't know. I don't know. It's all a giant mess, and it's all a giant clusterfuck, and God knows how much is honest with all the propaganda going around.
Right. Hi, Vanilla. How you doing?
I and hi, yes. So yeah, they don't. Israel doesn't. Actually, Israel didn't have to tell us exactly when they were bombing anywhere other than Iran. If
Right.
they were moving out of Gaza, and again, if Hamas is truly backed by Iran, then that's a good reason to take out the head of the snake. You take out the body of the Hydra, not just the heads, because where one head falls, two grow back. Greek
Exactly.
mythology 101. Hydra bad. Go for the body. So actually, it wasn't even so much that they went to the body; they had to cut off the head and cauterize it really fast in order for it to work. But we're not Hercules, so screw it.
Right.
Um, Sorry, I had to correct my own retelling of history there. It wasn't needed, and I'm sure everybody knew it, but technically, I'm a dingbat. So, all right, let's get through the rest of this video.
It warned. They warned the United States before attacking them. Like, is that a show of respect? Like,
Actually, you know what? Now that I think about it, it wasn't a show of respect. It was a show of, if we accidentally killed one single American soldier, do you know what would happen?
Exactly.
That's not a respect thing now that I'm really thinking further and he brought that up. It's not a show of respect. It was, we don't want to get obliterated off the face of the earth. So we're going to warn them to get their troops out. Then we're going to miss our target by a good mile or two. And then we're going to say victory. And nothing actually happened.
Exactly. Get down off of there.
Yeah. It's like, I think they did it more out of frickin' fear of the actual repercussions if they hurt a single American troop or soldier of any branch. I'm not going to get into the nitpicks of which branch is called what, because you've got your sailors, you've got your Marines, you've got your. I mean, we could just go on with the different slogans and names and whatever things. So just any of our personnel that would have been injured would have meant the utter obliteration of Iran at
Yeah.
that
Correct.
moment,
I agree.
or Iran, depending on how you want to pronounce it. The one thing that drives me nuts are the people calling it Qatar when it's actually Qatar. Q apostrophe TAR. Qatar.
Oh,
But we're not going to
I
go
hear
there.
a lot of people say that the correct pronunciation is Cutter.
It's not Qatar. I've known people out of the Middle East, especially Sudan, not Sudan, Saudi Arabia and Jordan, and it's always pronounced Qatar.
Mm-hmm.
Qatar is not the correct way to pronounce it. As far as all the years I've known people out of the Middle East, I've
Oh,
never heard them once call it Qatar. I've always heard Qatar.
oh my God.
Uh,
The crazy person is on again on Sesame Street. Lord, please
oh
help us.
God, just
Let
shut
us
it off.
pray.
Save
I,
yourself.
hold on, I
Grab
look.
the holy water and throw it at the TV. Oh wait, that's Catholics. Not or do no, I think there are a couple other subdivisions of Catholicism that use holy water.
Oh my
I'm
God,
trying to
that
remember for
is.
sure.
I should have taken a screenshot of that shit so that I could show you how bad it is. This time he got Christmas lights strung all around him.
Anyone want to mess with the wiring to amp up that electrical output and leave a few cracks in the wire cases?
There you go.
Anyone?
There you go.
Anyone? Maybe have them stand on a metal platform while doing so.
Uh-huh. And Riley drizzle some water on him. Oh, too
Sorry.
funny.
But you really don't want to use water because then it's not as painful.
Okay.
Dry
Right.
electrocution is 10 times worse. Trust me, I learned the hard way when I grabbed a light switch while standing on a metal vent cover. Oh, yeah, my arm was numb for a few hours.
Mm-hmm.
It's not going to harm you. It's just going to hurt like hell and you're part of your body is going to go numb for a bit.
There you
But
go.
yeah, just saying.
All right, hit play.
Yeah. Nothing feels good like 110 volts through your forearm and fingers. Okay, let's get through the last of this. I'm sorry. I'm
Like, what
sidetracking
is
here.
that? Why warn them? Why not just attack if you really are bloodthirsty to kill? So that's a very sketchy. I'm not sure. I'm really not sure how to feel about that. Lou, you said it in the comments. I'm not sure how to feel about that, but yeah, we'll see how this goes. A lot of people on TikTok, a lot of young Americans are becoming patriotic because there's a lot of videos coming out of how strong the United States is. And also, a lot of people are realizing that they live in the United States of America. And a lot of people, even though they don't like the government, they're noticing that they'll die for America. They'll die to defend this country and they'll die to defend this nation. So that's what's going on. Like a lot of people are anti-war, but they're also ready to die for America if necessary, which is actually something that's very I'm confused about that. I don't know what to think about. You know, a whole bunch of people basically saying usually don't even like Trump. They're saying, well, you know what, Iran, you can because Iran have been posting a lot of messages online. They've been posting a lot of messages on social media, and they've been saying that everyone will feel it. Everyone's gonna feel this. Well, it looks like not everybody is going to feel it in Qatar because you gave the U.S. a warning. So, again, Trump saw that Trump saw that Iran was weak. He decided to act on it. That was his decision. Now, is this going to be a full blown war? How does Trump win here if no war breaks out? If no war breaks out, that's
That
how
is the
this
win.
happens. But Israel wants a war. Israel wants regime change. Republicans
Uh,
want regime change.
Everybody wants a regime change there. Since the 70s, this place has been threatening America. Yes, albeit retardedly threatening in the most ridiculous ways and things they cannot even back. But the fact is they have been a threat. And we see it if you look at our politicians right now who are all Muslim and supporting this switch to Sharia law and communist run America. That's how Iran is winning. That's how the Islamic extremists are winning,
That's right.
as they're taking over our countries politically and
Correct.
changing our fundamental laws.
And it's starting at the lowest level: school boards, city councils,
Yes,
state legislation.
we saw it happen in the UK,
Uh huh.
in England.
Correct. Correct. And
Look at
and
France,
then
Germany.
into the right, and then into the federal government.
Yes, I'm sorry. You want to really defeat these people? Get the extremists out of power.
Mm-hmm.
I'm talking the Elon Omars, the
Elisa,
Rashida
oh yeah,
Tlaibs,
yep,
Ayanna
Prescott,
Presley.
yep,
Yes, those ones are
AOC,
extremists.
yep, AOC.
AOC isn't even Muslim. She's just a moron.
No, but I'm just saying she supports social. Her and Bernie Sanders are, I don't know,
Yeah.
socialist, communist. What was that term we heard? Was it socialist
Oh.
Democrat or Democrat
No,
socialist?
the anarcho communist
Yeah,
was a really good one. And then there was the socialist Democrat.
yeah. What the hell
So
is that?
you're a Democrat who doesn't like having a budget. Got it.
Hmm. We'll talk about that more later.
I mean, it's frustrating because everyone's like, "How do we do this? How do we?" Well, one, I don't have a problem with the average everyday Muslim person who is, you know, live and let live, not on this world domination trip, that Christianity went through and Judaism went through years ago, centuries ago, I should say. And so Islam's just kind of coming into its I got to dominate the world and then I'll dial it back after a century of being fought over. Um, so, well, technically, I mean, if you think about it, during the Crusades, very muchly happened a bit, but I'm still, my whole point remains is that, they got to dial this extremism back in every religion. I don't you don't see when's the last time you've seen an extremist Hindu or an extremist Buddhist?
Exactly.
I want to meet an extreme Buddhist. Please, someone show me a Buddhist who goes around beating people over the head with their
There
little
might have been a
staffs and their
there might have been
tablets.
a extreme Hare Krishna here and there, at the airport or on the street, but even
Oh,
that
you get
would.
those all over the
Right,
place, even to this day.
right. All right, go ahead, hit
I
play.
still want to meet an extreme Buddhist.
There
All
you
right,
go.
I'll hit play.
Regime change. So what's going to happen? That's the biggest question. What is going to happen next? Are we going to go out to a full-blown war? Are we going to invade? Are we going to try to get regime change? That's the biggest question because there's a lot of war hawks and a lot of war-hungry Republicans and Democrats and Bibi Netanyahu that could be next. Again, remember they told us that if a false flag happens, it's going to happen here in the United States of America. So that's really what a lot of people are worried about. I would say that a lot of people that wake up every day, they wake up with an anxiety that something could happen in the United States of America, and that's why a lot of people are being prepped up. A lot of people are prepped up mentally for it and physically, but not in the cities. I'm gonna be honest. The cities are the most vulnerable. Democrat ran cities are the most vulnerable for an attack, which is why they're on high alert. Mayor Adams just came out just the other day. He was like, New York City is on high alert of an attack that could happen at any moment. So we're gonna see exactly how this goes. Yeah, our border's been open for 4 years. We didn't vet anybody. So yeah, of course these Democrats are now scared because they know what could happen. But
They've
shout out to
known what could
Qatar. I
happen.
know
They
I know
just
that
don't
the
care.
Israelis
Right,
don't like Qatar. Israelis really hate Qatar actually, but Qatar shut down those missiles. What does that
And
say about Qatar in the United States of America? When you
let me explain why Qatar did that. Because Qatar does not want to be held responsible for the base that we have there getting blown up.
right.
So, yeah. And they did just offer us that. What was that plane? That really nice
Like that
plane?
really like golden plane almost, the golden plane.
Yeah, that
Yeah.
top of the line, rich, most expensive plane in the planet.
Right,
Yeah, I don't think they want to screw up that deal by, letting our base get blown up.
right.
I just, and again, I'm sitting here thinking about this. I can think of a dozen reasons why this is going on. And yeah, the people in the cities are going to be more paranoid because they're so dependent on grocery stores and stuff to get their supplies and their belongings. They wouldn't know what the hell to do if shit hit the fan.
Well, that's what they
I,
said. Within days, they would fan out of the cities and come into the
well, but
suburbs.
that's what we always say that. But remember that power outage in the early 2000s? We're talking what, 2003?
Mm, no, yeah, I don't
For that
remember.
major power outage in the whole East Coast from Michigan to all
Yeah,
of the
that's right. Right.
um it was like the early 2000s.
I remember that.
Yeah, you
Yeah.
guys had that massive blackout up there. I was down in Kentucky. Y'all didn't go spanning out running everywhere else. Nobody did that.
No,
I
but
wonder
COVID
if it's a
COVID
mindset that they're
proved
putting into people.
no, but COVID proved that that would happen.
COVID proved that people are easily manipulated.
And that's what would happen in this scenario.
No, this would be a very similar to the power outage in 9/11.
Mm,
People would team up and help each other
I
if
would
it was
hope
something
so.
like that going to happen. And we already know it hasn't happened because this was
Right.
like a week and a half ago. But yeah, people, you can guess all you want about what they're going to do. But when push comes to shove, people will surprise you. I have literally kicked this around in my head for years,
I
playing
got
back and forth.
I'm going to go turn the fan off. I can hear you, but I'm not going to say anything. It's freezing in
Okay.
here. I'll be right back.
All right. So, yeah, I mean, I've been kicking it back and forth for years. Humans are going to do what? What would they do in this response? What would they do in that response? It's all up for grabs. It's really hard to say. So, I don't know. Honestly, I think, when push comes to shove, if something serious like another 9/11 happened, which it probably won't, obviously it hasn't already, but In the event that another 9/11 type attack were to happen, I don't see what people are suggesting. I mean, it would have to be all out nukes, leaving each man for himself, to each his own, run for your life, in order for it to be people against people. It really would have to be that to get this response. And I don't see that actually happening anytime soon. No one on this planet is dumb enough to go ahead and intentionally nuke the shit out of America when every other country with nukes, with the exception of three or four, would have our back.
I wouldn't count on
So,
anybody to have our back right now.
yeah, but we have enough nukes across America and on other continents
Right.
that we could just bombard the fuck out of whoever. I don't think anyone's that retarded.
Well,
I really don't think any one country is that stupid.
China, perhaps. China and North Korea team up, and you
I
never
don't
know.
see China being that stupid
All right,
because
hit play.
China knows it would hurt their industry.
Yeah,
But yeah, let's hit play.
let's get over this one.
When you have Qatar and the Saudis and you have Middle Eastern allies, what does that say about those guys? What does that say about them protecting the United States of America? Because they might as well just go to war with Iran now that they're shooting down those missiles. Maybe this was a test from Iran to Qatar. What is Qatar going to do? So Trump goes to Qatar. Qatar offers a plane. All these conservatives that support Israel are mad at Trump because he was going to receive a plane from Qatar. But it's clearly shown here that Qatar is here for the United States of America. They're shooting down missiles. They didn't have to do that. In fact, they could have just betrayed the United States right there and sided with the Iranians against Israel. But that's not the case. So something else is happening. Something else is in the works here. So we'll see exactly what it is.
Yeah, time will tell. But since this video, nothing serious has happened.
Correct.
A lot of small, stupid things around the United States have been popping off, but nothing that would make me think it was a full blown attack on us.
Correct. Is this the end of this video?
Yeah, that's the end of that video.
Well, I wanted to let you know that I love how you did the closed captioning. It looks really good.
The red, white, and blue.
Yeah, it looks really nice. And I also wanted to mention, uh-oh, JJR Promotion McGroin, first in chat. Is this our
Yep,
JJ?
that's our JJ. He had to use his other account.
I see. I wanted to mention that this is Lou Valentino, who is a friend of the show, and you can find him on LV Nation. There is a description in our description. Is that correct? Is that the way to
There's
say
a
it?
link in our description.
Thank you. There's a link in our description.
And if there is not, then there is on YouTube that will lead you directly from our main channel.
Correct. And again, that is LV Nation. Before we go anywhere else, do you want to put up the picture of Big Eyes?
Oh, yeah. Let me grab that really fast. Oh, he is such an adorable little man. Oh, he is just too cute. Hold on.
Exactly.
Let me enlarge the video. Or not the video, the picture. Screen share the little stink bomb. And we are going to close that and share that instead.
There you go, JJ. There's little JJ.
Oh, he is just too cute.
Look at those eyes.
He's like, please feed
Mm-hmm.
me or hug me or whatever I need preemptively before I start crying.
I was thinking more like he was praying. So,
Or he was taking a crap and he's like,
uh-huh.
please just let it end and not go up my back.
Exactly. Exactly. But
He's too cute.
he's still sobbing here. So, He hasn't settled on.
Oh, he's just not feeling good.
Nope.
Uh-oh.
Nope. So we're gonna drug him up later.
Yeah.
Anyway.
Little guy needs a break.
Yes, he does. So there you go, JJ. There's your JJ.
He is too cute.
Oh,
He
he's
is.
sad. All right. So what do we got going on next?
That is what I am looking for.
Okay.
Because we do have options. We have that one video on the Carmelo Anthony, as well as the updates in the new one, that the new show notes. If you want, we can just combine those really quick and get
Yeah,
that
why
out of
don't
the
we do
way.
that? Yeah, why don't we do that? That sounds good.
Let me find it. Yep, we have the article and then we have the video. So
Okay, sounds
let's
good.
grab this video.
Okay.
Where did I put it? Okay, making sure I got everything in the right place. I apologize. As y'all know, oh, there's JJ as it is. Hi. He
Hey,
says, I am
JJ.
in. Howdy, sisters. Hello, hello.
How you doing?
Okay. Where did it go?
Oh, wait a second. I just noticed Vanilla Pie. Is YouTube back to using the regular handles again? Instead
Or
of
we
the...
fixed it. Or he fixed his own account. Where
Oh,
did I
that
put
way.
that freaking
Yeah,
show?
I see. Okay.
Hold
Gotcha.
on one second. I apologize. This is a liberal hive mind one. There it is. Got it. I apologize, as usual. Y'all know.
Vanilla says he
Oh,
did nothing.
okay.
Oh,
Yeah, I went in and I changed my name on my email account from my personal name, which I've had this account for 20 years, like. So I've had it as long as Gmail's been out.
yeah, I'm
So
gonna go look and see right now. Oh, I can't. I have something else open. I can't get rid of it. Sorry. I'll look
it's
later.
all right. We'll check. We'll catch it later.
Okay.
All right, let's hit play.
All right, folks, so take a look at what's going on in the news.
We have confirmed with Collin County authorities that an indictment of first-degree murder has been handed down by a grand jury against Carmelo Anthony. The 17-year-old Frisco High School student has been free on bond since this incident on April 2nd. We are also waiting for reaction or a statement from his attorney and family spokesperson. The father of Austin Metcalf, who was killed, Jeff Metcalf, tells me in a statement he is, quote, just glad that the process is moving forward and I look forward to the trial now, end quote. We are also expecting a statement from Collin County District Attorney Greg Willis, whose office will prosecute this case. A first-degree murder charge carries with it a possible sentence of 5 up to 99 years or life in prison. Now, the next step in this legal process is the assigning of a judge who will then set an initial appearance date. And that initial appearance date for Carmelo Anthony could be, I'm told, days, weeks, or even months down the road. And a trial date won't be set before 2026.
Earlier this spring, our community was shaken by what happened at a school track meet in Frisco. The violent loss of 17-year-old Austin Metcalf. For weeks now, my team has been presenting evidence to the grand jury, and today I summarized that evidence, and I asked the grand jury to return a first-degree murder indictment against Carmelo Anthony, which they did. With this indictment, the case now moves formally into the court system. From this point forward, we'll continue doing our job both fully and fairly to pursue justice under the law. As for the scheduling of the trial, that will be up to the court, but when the time comes, we will be ready. Now, we know that this case has struck a deep nerve here in Collin County and beyond, and that's understandable. When something like this happens at a school event, it shakes people to the core. But let's remember that the justice system works best when it moves with steadiness and principle. That's what we're committed to, and that's what this case deserves. We're also mindful of Austin's family and everyone who loved him. Please keep them in your thoughts, and if you're willing, your prayers as well. Finally, let's remember that a defendant is presumed innocent unless and until proven guilty in a court of law.
We got Collin County DA Greg Willis now confirming that a grand jury has handed down a murder indictment indictment against Carmelo Anthony. And of course, if you were living in the real world, well, none of this is surprising if you simply followed the facts instead of the emotional leftist narrative. What other logical conclusion could you possibly come to? We had our suspicions after the police report and after the video surfaced, or reports of the video surfaced. Well, then it's the final nail in the coffin. The other day's announcement, there was no fight, no actual physical confrontation. Honestly, deep down inside, I was expecting maybe a shove, maybe putting his hand on his shoulder, something of the sort, some sort of aggressive movement, nothing to warrant the use of a deadly weapon. No, but now, according to what we're hearing, it could be worst case scenario, where there was actually no physical confrontation whatsoever, just a bruised ego, followed by a heart stabbing, as we do here in the civilized world. Excuse me, sir, you have scuffed my shoes. Now I shall stick a 6-inch knife into your freaking heart.
I want to point out that a lot of that comes from parenting, not teaching your kids to cope.
Correct. I agree.
A lot of this instant violence and instant jump to a defense that is not defensible is because no one is taught proper escalation or proper coping to children.
Well, that means that the parents were probably never taught, or they don't have the coping skills either.
Or it's the one off and there's a severe mental illness that's gone unchecked and untreated. And but most of the people out there, it's not mental illness. It's lazy parenting. And
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I do make exceptions for mental illness, but in this case, it seems like the kid
Well,
just was itching to
it.
get blood on his hands.
I was gonna pull the video, but I thought the video was too aggressive for YouTube, because Officer Tatum, is no longer doing YouTube. He's out on X. So if
Uh-huh.
anybody's interested in going out, he did a video on the fact that the parents are requesting additional money after petitioning the court for a public defender.
Yeah, they
And
mishandled the initial funds and now they want more.
correct, they want up to 1.3 million. And so he did a decent job, but then he kind of he strayed, and I thought it was way too aggressive for YouTube. So if you're interested, go out and look at the interview that he did, or the video that he did on this situation. What I found interesting, and remember, I grew up as a kid in the civil rights, and the whole time, from the time I went through high school, was always the racial. On Fridays, if you weren't gone off of the campus by 2 p.m., it was on. And Tatum said that he could understand how Carmelo did this. And I was like taken aback, and I was like, whoa, wait a minute, what do you mean? And he went on to say that, young black men are taught, or, told that it's the white man. The white man's got an issue with them being black. It is racism. It is the lack of parental parenting that has gone
Uh-huh.
on. And that when he was younger, now he says he wouldn't have pulled a knife, but if there was anybody that looked sideways at him, it was on.
Yeah.
And it was just a racial thing. It truly was the black versus the white. And now you have the brown mix added into it, so it's, the black against the brown, the black and the brown against the whites, and just everybody and everything, and it's absolutely ridiculous. Absolutely ridiculous.
And
But
it's the made up boogeyman that's doing
exactly,
this because
exactly.
Obama decided to keep racism on life support instead of pulling the plug.
Uh-huh. Yep. And then from there, what happened was, you had Biden, with all of BLM and, taking over Portland and all the violence and chaos and Kyle Rittenhouse and George
Yep.
Floyd and uh, what, the Charlottesville incident, the ripping down of the statues, the burning of the church, the threat on Trump. I mean, like,
It's been
it,
one thing after another,
exactly,
and it's
exactly,
on purpose. It's to
exactly.
keep
And
people scared.
hmm
It's government sanctioned terrorism, in my opinion.
I agree. I absolutely agree.
And Art says more culture than truly race, but race is a component. Exactly.
Good
It's
afternoon, Art. How you doing?
just the way these people have been raised to believe, oh, no matter what you do, the white man's going to
Somebody's
hold you down. So why bother trying? And
exactly
you got to work yourself out of that mindset
right.
because your community's not going to.
Correct.
And why ain't more older people going to stop destroying their youth and teach them how to push back? And yes, it's a struggle, but we're going to go through it anyways.
Right.
I mean, my family came here with not a freaking penny to their name. They came here with the clothes on their back and had to start with nothing in America. They
Yep.
didn't come here to a family already established. They didn't come here to land already established or even established job. They strolled off of Ellis Island, my great grandfather and his two children with nothing but the clothing on their back.
I know.
And you want to tell me that, oh, it's not the same? Shit. Yeah. Immigrants in the early 1900s, 100 years ago, immigrants from Europe were horribly disdained as much as any other race or
hmm
culture that was coming to America.
Yep.
Oh, don't even act like it's just, oh, they were white, they were instantly welcomed. The hell they were. And that was white people segregating and hating other white people. It's
hmm
funny how that works.
Correct.
Kind of like what goes on in Africa. One tribe absolutely despises another tribe. It happens in every race, culture, and country on the planet. But, people don't want to look at that. They only want to look at what they've been told and not look at the whole overarching pattern.
Right.
So, yeah, there's me on my historical tangent for the day. I'm sure I'll have more. Just sick of repeating it because, again, this propaganda is only going to work as long as we allow it to work. As long
Right.
as we keep living in fear and we keep drawing attention to the fear, it's like it's never going to go away. We've got to find better ways to communicate with our neighbors and help our neighbors without living in fear of the repercussions of helping our neighbors. Well, and they're not even real repercussions. It's all psychiatric in your head crap. Late
Right.
1860s, German farmers just a bit oppressed due to the funny accent. Yeah. And don't get me started on what happened to the Mennonites and the Amish in Russia during that era as well. Really bad. You think America was bad? Holy shit. Russia, really bad.
Yes, it was.
Really bad. It's wild the way everyone wants to make history so one-sided and not even look at all of it.
Right.
And 99% of it was government fear propaganda that led to this in the first place. And it was completely unnecessary.
I agree.
So, yeah. Oh, I need to finish hitting play, don't I?
Yes, you do.
Me on my tangents. I apologize.
art.
It's okay.
Absolutely insane behavior. But of course, what's crazy, the fact that we're living in frickin' La La Land dealing with these lefty journalists and activists talking head meat puppets who, just for the sake of owning the right or upholding this make-believe story of MAGA white supremacy, they champion these characters and craft lies out of frickin' thin air. I mean, literally inventing things like, oh, the whole cleat sharpener gate.
Well, the evidence has actually come out that it wasn't a knife. It was something that's used to clean your cleats.
He never had a knife, it was a cleat sharpener.
He did not have a knife on campus. He had a cleat sharpener, which is allowed on every school campus. Now, I apologize.
I mean, what the frick is a cleat sharpener? We're not living in the frickin' 1930s. I mean, it literally turned out to not even exist. This whole cleat sharpener thing wasn't even real, but so many people bought it hook, line, and sinker. He was this desperate kid who was being beat on by Austin Metcalf and his privileged white male crew. They attacked the innocent black boy for literally no reason. He was just a good student with straight A's, never any problems, and then he desperately grabbed a cleat sharpener from his backpack and fought all those white violent thugs off. I mean, people were actually giving this misrepresentation based on a ridiculous made-up rumor. There was never any mention of a cleat sharpener in the police reports, I'll tell you that much, and really nothing to suggest that this was legitimate self-defense. Everything pointed to the opposite, but the left, of course, just has to constantly wage war against the boogeyman of white supremacy. And so all of a sudden the wacky theories drop, the victim becomes the bad guy, and the violent criminal, with clearly no emotion and no impulse control, who murdered somebody in cold blood, that person somehow becomes the frickin' victim. Hashtag free Carmelo, they say. Bring Carmelo home. Another victim of the racist justice system. Give me a frickin' break. There was never any case for self-defense. Never. And if you read the Texas Penal Code, as we did all those weeks ago, well, Texas law is crystal clear when it comes to self-defense. It doesn't apply if you're the one who provoked the encounter. And based on the police report, Carmelo Anthony was pumping his chest out and saying, put your hands on me and see what happens. He was provoking and insinuating violence. In other words, a threat. Doesn't exactly meet the criteria for fleeing for your life and desperately using violence to defend it. Not even freaking close. There's no evidence that Carmelo Anthony's life was ever in danger. And once Anthony took that step and initiated lethal violence on his target without clear justification, but rather just in a moment of uncontrollable rage, well, it's game over. And clearly that's the way the grand jury's seeing it, folks. They're seeing what we're seeing, except probably way more direct because they've been presented the video evidence absolutely by now. And based on these charges and the confidence that they're being presented to us with, well, clearly the grand jury probably saw this kid murdered in cold blood at a damn school sporting event with no provocation, or no extreme provocation, but rather just a disagreement. And that's the very harsh reality. That's why Carmelo Anthony is going to be tried as an adult here, and rightfully so. You know, there's simply no way to spin this anymore, no way to grift on this anymore, like we saw with that Dominique Alexander kid, Mr. Pimp Main, woman abuser, fake lawyer. I just don't think you could spin it anymore. This was very likely murder in the first degree. But as we've seen time and time again, they don't care about the facts. They only care about the narrative. They did the exact same thing with George Floyd, turning a fentanyl overdose, a clearly disturbed individual with a lengthy, violent criminal record. They turned him into a civil rights icon. A guy who held a gun at a pregnant woman's belly during a robbery now has statues in his honor and murals. And Derek Chauvin is essentially sitting in prison to appease the mob. You know, we need good heroes, and these people clearly just aren't it. No, obviously, very obviously, they're useful tools, they're useful narrative pawns that the left likes to deal in. You know, they love to deal in narrative manipulation and misinformation, and so that's what they do time and time again. You get these cases where they feel they can come in and kind of twist and manipulate, where the facts are vague or unknown, and keep building the story, you know, like Whoopi Goldberg said the other day, living in America as a black person is worse than living in Iran as a woman. Oh, the suffering. It's so clear, it's so evident, yet they need to twist and manipulate narratives in order to uphold the mirage. I mean, come on, give me a break. They raised over $500,000 for this kid, a violent killer who was then released on bail, allowed to graduate high school, and then disappeared into a private gated mansion, getting chauffeured in a brand new Cadillac Escalade. Folks, the left is addicted to fake heroes. Well, I simply prefer the real heroes.
Well, I wouldn't say it's so much fake heroes. I would say it's propagandist heroes.
Correct.
But again, The right fearmongers equally as the left, just using different words, but it's the same meaning. It frustrates the hell out of me trying to break people out of this nonsense. And Art says use of deadly force is only valid if your life is in imminent danger. The imminence is in the eye of the reasonable man, aka jury.
Right.
Yes. Yep. If the jury would be in fear of their lives in the same situation, then it's a valid claim. If they wouldn't, then it is not a valid self-defense. Exactly. And again, I'm one of those jackasses that I don't see much fear in anything. I don't they don't want me on a jury for something like this. Cuz I'd be like, I can find 6 ways you could have gotten out of that shit without having a single confrontation. I would sit
Exactly.
there and break that shit down 1 minute every second by second. Here's where you could have just shut your mouth and walked away. Here's where you could have shut your mouth and walked away. Walk away, walk away, walk away. No, I'm sorry. Even if someone starts throwing, someone pulls a knife on you, there is a high probability you can still walk your happy ass out of there unharmed. I'm sorry. People
Oh,
just
all right.
don't think
Okay.
for solutions
All right.
that don't require absolute freak out and panic in worst case scenario. Y'all got to start strategizing shit. Like from the second you walk into a building, you better be looking for exit routes and thinking possibilities. You shouldn't have to think that way in this modern time, but you do. It's like when I would go to a patient's home. From the second I park that car, I am scoping out. Here's all the windows. Here's the doors. Here's this circumstance. Here's that. You just common freaking sense. And again, I will always hold. Why the hell does a kid have a knife at a school sporting function? Why? Why? It makes no sense. So, yeah, my main thoughts on this, that kid had intentions from the minute he walked in there. But before he even got onto those bleachers, he wanted a fight. That's all I can ever say about it. And I think I'm waking up little JJ.
Yep.
My tangent. I apologize.
Let me call Daddy. All right.
Aww.
It's okay.
I made him
Ow.
cry.
All right. All right. It's okay. Come on, Don. All right.
Oh.
Let me go. Don't pull hair. I got you, baby. I got you. I got you. I got you. I got you.
Oh,
Okay.
little
Okay.
guy. Let's
Oh,
let him calm down.
no. Here we go. Go back to sleeping. It's okay. I got you. I got
Is
you.
he settled down?
Yeah, go ahead.
Okay. We got that alligator Alcatraz, and I think this is one of the most brilliant ideas ever. I think this is one of the smartest ideas Florida has ever come up with, and I get people like, "Oh my god, the whole land around it. It was a freaking airport up until a few years ago." Shut up.
Right.
Cleat sharpener. Here's the thing, I would totally believe that if they were metal cleats, but we don't use metal cleats anymore.
Yeah,
We don't
that's
use metal
true.
cleats.
Right.
So I would believe a cleat sharpener if we used metal cleats these days. And when's the last time we've used metal cleats anywhere? Anyone?
No, but I could
I
see using it on plastic though too.
I don't like. I don't think it would degrade the plastic
Mm-hmm.
and making it more likely for the spikes to break off. So for me, that doesn't make sense to use it on plastic. And if you're going to talk about
That's
cleaning it
okay.
off,
Go take the ball.
it's not like it's metal. I
Mm-hmm.
don't know. It just don't make sense to use a cleat sharpener on plastic. It just don't. And
Love you.
so, oh, I mean, I know what a cleat sharpener is, and there was a ton of people online when that first broke. They're like, "What the hell is even a cleat sharpener? I've never heard of this. I played football. I don't know what a cleat sharpener is." And I'm like, "I know what it is because my ex father-in-law used to climb the little telephone poles to install and update and fix for Comcast." And they do use a form of cleats. They're the toe cleats
Right.
to climb the post.
Right.
And so, yes, cleat sharpener absolutely needed in his case. But to run track, that's not even the right kind of cleats.
Mm-hmm.
That would require a cleat sharpener. That's totally different set of cleats. I could see maybe football cleats, soccer cleats, but not track running around the track.
Right.
Those are not designed for that. Even your pole vault and your long jumps and stuff don't have those kind of cleats because they are not effective for what you need them to do, and they would tear up the damn track. So it still makes no sense why this kid would have a cleat sharpener.
None
Even
of
though
it
I
is
know what they are and know what they're used
right.
for, I know what the damn things look like. I'm calling BS.
Yep.
Google peaked that day. Yes, they did. Yes, they did. Um, all right, so next video, where we're supposed to focus is this is a brilliant idea. It's kind of like the actual Alcatraz, where you don't gotta put up walls. The natural surrounding, yeah,
Mm-hmm.
is going to do the work
What
for
needs
you.
to be done? Yeah, I mean that's automatic. It's common sense to me.
I agree. But let's give this a quick run through. And I do know that there has been protesting and stuff there. Oh, wait, we were supposed to read the article
That's
before we
okay.
did this. You
That's
sure?
okay. Yeah.
We can go back to the article in a minute. Yeah. It's going to be one of those days. Here we go.
Tonight at 10, Florida's so-called Alligator Alcatraz detention camp for migrants facing deportation is being quickly set up. Trucks hauling heavy equipment have been rolling into the Everglades about an hour west of Miami. Plans to turn the Dade Collier Training and Transition Airport site into a migrant detention camp is sparking questions and also criticism. CBS News' Miami's Larry Siebert reports from near the facility.
Miles of swamp with alligators, pythons, and hordes of mosquitoes surround Miami-Dade's aviation training strip across the street behind me. This is where officials say nature provides security, others see vulnerabilities. Its barbed chain link gates stay open night and day, letting drivers deliver generators the size of 18-wheel truck cabs, trailers, and one continual stream of heavy equipment.
Alligator Alcatraz, we're ready to go.
All of it to build a temporary detention in Miami-Dade's abandoned 39-square-mile airstrip in the Everglades during hurricane season. Within the next month or two, authorities plan to send 1,000 migrants facing deportation.
My initial reaction is this a joke?
Betty Osceola is an advocate for the Miccosukee tribe whose land lies nearby.
This threat, again, opens the door to some type of a development. They say it's temporary, but who knows what other harebrained idea that they're going to get, that maybe it should be permanent.
So far, the plan calls for temporary housing, a tactic used in Cuba's Guantanamo Bay and after Hurricane Andrew in South Florida. Miami-Dade's then emergency manager says such a setup is vulnerable to severe storms. But it's not clear how state leaders would handle such a threat or manage the Everglades' blistering heat.
This presents a great opportunity for the state of Florida.
In this video, the Attorney General of Florida calls it an efficient response to an illegal immigration emergency, surrounded by wetlands with alligators and...
Here's my thought. They want better humane living conditions. Don't come across the border illegally.
I like that idea.
You want to be detained in a more humane fashion? Don't come across illegally.
Yeah, they walked, through the desert and everything to get here. I would think that they'd be used to the conditions.
They crossed the Rio de Janeiro. I mean, come on. Like, y'all want sit there and say this ain't humane? What the hell did you do to get here? Exactly. I've got no problem with a tent city and at an old airport. Sheriff Joe fought to allow that all the way to the Supreme Court and won. There you go. It's not like they're tearing up a new place. Oh, the Rio Grande. Oh my God. I said Rio de Janeiro, didn't I? That's in Brazil. Oh my God. Feel like an idiot much? Yes, I do. You know what I meant. Do what I mean, not what I say.
There you go.
All right, let's get through the last minute.
Gators and snakes, security is hardly a big expense. Online, U.S. Secretary of Homeland Security Kristi Noem says the facility, quote, will in large part be funded by FEMA's Shelter and Service Program. Her department's X account also celebrated the move as part of cost-effective and innovating ways to deliver mass deportations.
It's a bad idea now.
While protesters call for crews to stop construction, Miami-Dade Mayor Daniela Levine Cava worries about the impact on efforts to protect the Everglades.
We have environmental and physical stewardship and safety concerns about this.
Can you clarify? This letter to the mayor from Florida's emergency management director says, according to Governor Ron DeSantis' emergency powers, the division intends to utilize the airport to assist the federal government with immigration enforcement. It leaves the county few options, but plenty of concern about what happens here next. Miami-Dade County's mayor says her team is looking at legal options, and while state officials say what they plan to operate here is just temporary, they did offer to buy the land, but Miami-Dade County's commission will have to approve that. In Ochopee, Larry Seward, CBS News, Miami.
Yeah, so people are having a fit just because they can have a fit.
Yeah, it was okay
The
with
land?
the airport, you know.
Exactly.
Yeah.
The airport was
People were
opening and
there.
functioning until COVID.
Right. Yep.
So, like, yeah, motherfuckers are just having a fit. Oh my God. All right, let's pull up this article. My hands are all achy. My neck, I feel like I tore something. My muscles don't feel like they're pulling away from my clavicle on my right shoulder. It feels like they're trying to rip off. And I hate it.
Well, I have bones that I didn't even know I had.
That's true. Those bones ache. So,
Well, at
all
least
right.
better than the weekend, so it's eased up
Yeah.
substantially.
All right.
Okay, so this is the article that Carmelo. Can you move it over a little bit, Crazy B, or shrink it
I
down?
think that's just the way it's zoomed in at.
Can you,
I can see if I can move it over. Give me a second.
or just shrink it down a little bit?
Oops. God dang it. Is that better?
I still can't see the left-hand side of it.
That is so weird. Oops.
There you go.
Is that better?
Yes, ma'am.
Are you going to be able to see the text?
Yes, I can.
Okay.
Carmelo Anthony's father speaks out as family asks for another $1 million in donation for legal fees ahead of the murder trial. The murder case against Carmelo Anthony continues to stir public scrutiny, and now financial questions are fueling the conversation. In a new Facebook post, Carmelo's father, Drew Anthony, revealed that his son has officially requested a court-appointed lawyer, citing financial hardship. The request comes despite the family previously raising over $500,000 through public donations and now seeking to raise $1.4 million. Today we received the official news that the Collin County District Attorney has indicted our son, your nephew, your friend, your neighbor, Drew wrote. A grand jury indicted 17-year-old Karmelo on one count of first-degree murder for fatally stabbing Austin Metcalf at a Frisco, Texas track meet. Family pushed to the edge. Karmelo once had a previous legal representation, but his father said the family could no longer sustain those costs. Now, Now he's relying on the court system for a public defender as the case moves closer to trial. The shift has raised eyebrows, especially after the family raised more than $500,000 through crowdfunding platforms. Their most recent fundraising goal is $1.4 million.
Yeah, they ain't getting shit from me.
So there's the various Facebook posts.
Yeah.
Yeah, critics online questioned where the money has gone. In response, the Anthony Fellow has explained that the donations have supported various emergency expenses, from legal fees to trauma counseling, relocation after threats, transportation to court, and basic living costs. So let's break that down real quick. They moved to a gated community.
Hold a job to support your kid and your
They
family.
bought
You
that.
get harassed, call the cops.
Yeah, they bought that huge brand new vehicle, some type of
Oh, that
Escalade.
was supposedly leased through his
Oh,
work.
I see. Okay, they relocated to a gated community. I
Hmm.
guess they use the vehicle to transport themselves back and forth.
How did they transport before this?
I don't know.
I would assume they had a vehicle or public busing.
You would think. Officials released Carmelo from the Collin County Jail after the court reduced his bond. However, prosecutors clarified that because he was 17 at the time of the incident, he won't face the death penalty. The
Uh-huh.
Supreme Court has said you can't even get them life without parole, Collin County District Attorney Greg Willis told Fox News Digital. Meanwhile, the family of Austin Metcalf continues to process their own grief. Jet Metcalf, Austin's father, told TMZ that he would have supported the death penalty had Karmelo been 18 at the time. It's the law, unfortunately, he said, noting that the timing changed everything. As both
I'm
families.
curious. What difference does a few months make in a child's maturity in a murder case?
Well, apparently the day your birthday does. As both families brace for what lies ahead, the Anthonys say the legal and emotional toll has only grown. With bills rising and public pressure mounting, they're asking for continued support to keep fighting on multiple fronts. The post-Carmelo Anthony fathers speak out as family asks for another $1 million in donations for legal fees ahead of murder trials, originally was published on Total Pro Sports.
Okay, that's
And
it.
that's the end. And this is just absolutely crazy to me.
No, I get like not doing the murder, like not using the death penalty on a 12 or 13-year-old. But this kid is already in his late teens, almost an adult, knew right from wrong, and chose to do this stupid shit anyways. I'm sorry. Death penalty should apply. If it applies for a person at the age of 30 who did this, it should apply for the person in their late teens who did this.
Well, the law would have to be changed. Art says age is an arbitrary marker. Essentially, you have to pick a number for legal reasons. Exactly. And that's based on what? Your birth date.
I don't think it should be based on your age. I think it should be based on your maturity, your cognitive
And who's
capabilities.
gonna who's gonna decide that?
Well, I mean, would you take a of mice and men situation? Okay, let's talk of mice and men. Would you have suggested the death penalty or a group home assisted living secure facility?
Oh, I would have said the death penalty.
For someone who had no clue what they were doing was wrong.
Oh, for somebody that had no clue what they were doing
We're
was
talking IQ capabilities,
okay.
cognitive capabilities.
Yeah, then they would. then I would say probably some type of, I don't know if a group home necessarily, but some type of,
Secure facility.
correct, secure facility.
Yes.
Yes.
Now, let's say we have someone who is 13 but still has no clue murder's wrong, and as they age and mature, they become to aware that it's wrong. They are remorseful. They're able to redeem themselves and go back to society as as a helpful person.
Hmm. I don't know.
This is why I think it needs to be based on multiple things, not just an age.
Yeah. I don't know
You can
about that.
also have a 30-year-old who's not mature enough. Yeah, and that's why I think, we need to base it not so much on an arbitrary number, but is this person going to learn beyond this? Can they learn from this? I want more of a psyche eval on this shit than I want a number. Is this person cognitively going to be remorseful? Is this someone who deserves to live after this?
Hmm.
And again, who gets to decide? The jury. And I don't think it should be based on age, because there are some 15-year-olds who are really good at the conniving mastermind manipulation bullshit.
Oh, yeah, there are 9-year-olds that are like that.
Yes. And it's not just because of their age, but their mentality makes them capable of doing such a thing.
Right. And then,
There are 9-year-olds who deserve the death penalty
right,
as much as there are 70-year-olds who deserve it.
right. And
But
see, I
we
agree
have
with
to
what
take
Art,
all of that into consideration.
see, I agree though with what Art says. Then you get into the subjective analysis, which you won't agree with either. So, we would be fighting with the counselors, the psychiatrists, who
And that
did.
is why we have a jury of our peers,
Hmm?
balanced out amongst others. You get different perspectives, different lifestyles, all coming together to decide the fate of one person. Seems pretty damn fair. But
Yeah.
again, I'm
Art.
also cynical about mankind. I think we're a fucked up race. We're a fucked up species, and God claiming us as a great achievement. Yeah, okay. Oh my God. If we're God's greatest achievement, something ain't right. And I'm not even saying it to be disrespectful to religion. It's just I look at mankind and I'm like, no, I don't see it. I don't see it at all. So, okay. What was next? But his peers aren't actually adults. I mean, he's being tried as an adult.
Correct.
So technically he must be of adult capabilities cognitively and emotionally, wouldn't it?
You would think, although, I mean, I didn't follow enough of. JJ said life is the greatest achievement, Crazy B.
Uh, all I can really say is, have we really watched what some of these people are actually doing with their lives and others' lives? I mean, I get it. To me, life is special. It is very precious. It should not be just, taken or given willy nilly. It should not be just an arbitrary, oh, well, it's one person who gives a rat's ass. No, every life is important, but I'm talking mankind as a whole. We have, yes, upgraded from clubs and stones to bullets and nuclear weapons, but we are still the same Neanderthal type morons going around beating our chests, screaming at each other over stupid differences. We have not changed much since our creation. Just gonna point that out. I mean, I'm looking at it as a whole. Oh, for every, thing we have done better, we've gotten worse in another direction. It's like, I don't know. Maybe I'm just black pilled on this shit because life sucks. And I'm at the point where screw the news. We need to all put down our devices and go say hi to our neighbors and help them in their backyard with cleaning their yard or doing their laundry or helping in the garden. Screw the internet. But that's me. So,
Well, you know where I live. Get your ass up here.
shit. I wish I could. I wish I could. I'm telling you. I've said it a million times. I was not joking. I would love to get all my closest friends to live within a 3-mile radius. We just take over this corner of the county and have our own little community like the Amish do.
Hmm.
I don't see anything wrong with it. I don't. I am all for that kind of living. Put the dang devices down and do what God told us to do, and that is to love and support each other. And the best way to win people over to God is by showing them, lead by example. Jesus did not go around beating people over the head with a bunch of scrolls from the old Jewish texts. He showed them how to be. And I think, with all this talk of end times, we really should be doing more focusing on helping our neighbors in our communities than fear mongering the shit out of each other. And I see a lot of that online, religious fear mongering. And I don't know. I think I'm black pilled on the whole topic. Sounds like B is sounding like Ultron, Iron Man shield around the world. Oh, when you're so black pilled by the stupidity of mankind. Yeah, I know. Anyways, what were we going to cover next? I'm just, yeah, my day. Um, we have articles or we have videos. What do
Play,
you want to do?
play, play some videos. I'm gonna head over to my room.
Oh, we have the oh my god, what a moron. Do I have this one edited? Let me double check. Um, Sorry, while I'm on my tangent of screw these morons and society sucks. I apologize. Um, um, Wait, what's the name of this article?
No article. Play a video.
No,
I'm on.
it's not an article. I meant video. I tried
Okay.
to see if I have it. Nope, I did not get a chance to download this one, so we'll have to cover it tomorrow.
Okay.
Um, let's cover. Oh, we have that one on Benny Johnson covering what's her dingbat face, AOC.
Yeah.
Where did it go? Oh, for the love of Pete.
That goes with our corrupt politicians series,
Theme.
right?
Where did it go? I literally edited this, saved it, put it all to the pretty little side. Oh, there it is. Found it. Ah, I just had to work on where I save things, but me being a dingbat and all. Um, Okay, hold on. I saw a few more comments come in. But Jesus did give out free samples of his whip to the money changers. Yes. Don't get me. Yes, I know. Oh, I know. I know. I know. But he didn't win people over to God by doing the same thing to them. Like we joked about earlier, every religion has their extremists, but I have yet to meet a Hindu or Buddhist extremist that like what you see in Christianity, Islam, and Judaism. I would love to find an extremist of Buddhism. Someone find me a Buddhist monk who is considered an extremist going around forcing people to convert. I would love footage of that. I mean, unless it's AI, you're not going to find it. So, yes, just my sarcasm and stuff going out there. But I would still love to see the footage. Anyways, let's find out where AOC is really from. Um, and I did have to do a bit of editing up on this. So there are going to be segments where there is no audio because there was music playing in the background and I didn't want to risk the copyright issues. This is Benny Johnson, and I will have lots to add. I mean, my son has even picked up on this video and got to watch parts of it and stuff that was covered by people he follows. So this is going to be entertaining.
Yo, what's up, guys? Welcome to the Bronx. This is where AOC says she's from. And this is where AOC is actually from. Welcome to Yorktown, the business hamlet of Yorktown Heights. There's mansions everywhere. It's beautiful, it's green, it's pristine, it's clean. And they even have a Christopher Columbus Society. I thought AOC got all those statues ripped down. Some structural racism right here in AOC's hometown. Today we're going to investigate the biggest lie in all of politics, the fraud of AOC. Let's go.
This is the Bronx. The Bronx is a gritty, working-class, hardscrabble, historic borough of New York City. AOC is a communist who represents the Bronx in Congress. She's not just a rising star in the Democrat Party, she is the Democrat Party. Clearly preparing for a 2028 run, AOC is breaking fundraising records and filling stadiums to hype her Bronx girl persona. AOC won her seat in Congress in 2018 by attacking her establishment Democrat opponent as not being sufficiently from the Bronx.
That a Democrat who takes corporate money, doesn't live here, doesn't send his kids to our schools, doesn't drink our water, cannot possibly represent us.
AOC reflexively repeats that she's from the Bronx and a Bronx girl.
I speak like a girl from the block.
And again.
I grew up first generation in the Bronx.
And again.
She's become a great actress.
So often that it's almost a pathology.
Wasn't that Jenny from the block?
That was Jennifer Lopez.
I
Yeah,
know,
she's
but
trying
I'm
to rip
just
off
saying.
Jennifer Lopez.
Yes,
Yeah.
exactly.
Yeah. And she is old enough for that era, by the way.
Right.
She was in elementary and middle school when J-Lo was getting her start.
Yep.
So it wouldn't surprise me why that persona came up.
The Bronx girl card again this week, responding to President Trump, saying she would eat a Queens boy like Donald Trump for breakfast.
I don't think he knows how to deal with a girl from the Bronx.
Something's very wrong here. What functional adult repeats where they're from this often? Someone who's lying.
Well, I do quite frequently, but I do this because most people haven't heard from us before or they're new to the podcast. So, we do it routinely, but for different reasons. As a politician who's always in the spotlight, if people really want to know, they can find it. Just going to say. So her repeating it is just doubling down on the bullshit lie to make herself seem more believable.
Yeah, but the problem is the people believe the bullshit lie because they're stupid people.
Oh yeah, I agree. Absolutely stupid.
It. I mean,
and all we're doing is preaching to the choir here because everybody here knows it already.
Right. Well, maybe word will get out somewhere to somebody.
Yeah, send this to some dingbat who actually believes her bullshit.
Yeah.
Let's continue.
Lying. And here's the dirty little secret. AOC is not actually from the Bronx. Since AOC was an infant, her family has lived in a beautiful little hamlet called Yorktown Heights. This little town is the opposite of AOC's gritty, downtrodden, working-class persona. It's clean and beautiful and safe. The neighborhood that AOC grew up in is well off, leafy, and manicured. AOC went to elementary, middle, and high school here. She graduated from Yorktown High, where she went by the name Sandy Cortez. And then she graduated Boston University with an economics degree. Since AOC is about to run for president, we thought it would be important to investigate the town that gave America its most famous communist.
This is not the Bronx. As you can see here, this is the leafy, beautiful Parkway suburbs. Is that a golf course? Oh, it's
Yes, it
gorgeous.
is a golf
What a pleasant
course.
and wonderful drive. I feel like I'm on my way to Pleasantville. Very much looking forward to finding out where AOC is from.
After a 90-minute drive from New York City, we finally got to Yorktown Heights. Check out this beautiful entry to the city. Trees lining the road, some mansions, some beautifully manicured lawns, American flags. This looks like an awesome place to be from. You get out of the car and you find something like this.
Welcome to the capitalist horrors of AOC's Yorktown Heights Patriot State Park. You can see here a Veterans Memorial Circle that's been beautifully tended and groomed with a lot of American flags and a lot of honor for our great nation. Really, just a terrifying place to grow up here. I hear that there are miles of luscious trails going through the forest here. Boy, you can understand why you'd become a communist growing up in a hood like this. Capitalist swine trying to sell me rhubarb at this beautiful Meadows Farm farmers market that, like, you can just smell it. They just want my money, my capitalist dollars. I'm not gonna let them do it because I'm an angry Marxist, right? This is what black pills someone like AOC, right? The fresh pies, the fresh fruit and vegetables. You know, could you imagine growing up like this? Hell on earth. Have they ever tried to apologize to AOC? Look at that. No trash, no graffiti, yellow school buses. Disgusting, okay? So safe, so clean. AOC grew up here. Now you can understand, okay? You can understand where the radicalization comes from. It's too nice. Look at that beautiful, that flagpole right there just makes your blood boil. Let's see what new horrors await us around the corner. This is where AOC got the idea for the Green New Deal. That's what we'd all be driving in if AOC got her way. Do you understand? She grew up with the horse and buggy. That's what she wants us to go back to. Get it? You gotta think like her. So depressing. With my made from scratch cinnamon
His
rolls.
sarcasm is
I
perfect
know.
through this.
Uh-huh.
I love it.
What a terrible life. I hate capitalism. So angry. This is how we must destroy America and capitalism. Oh, don't worry. There's a secret, adorable patio that we missed, a luscious green oasis hamlet back here that we happened to miss while we were rage eating our ice cream. Look how beautiful this is. Yo, what's up, man? How you doing? We got subscribers in AOC's hometown. Look at this. Look at this beautiful park. Got American flags here. What a patriotic, beautiful town. We got Revolutionary War battles that were fought here. You can see up here, freaking straight out of the Patriot. They even got the axe. And the American flags are sponsored by veterans. What a beautiful place. This is like a paradise. This is an American hamlet. And it's worth noting that AOC didn't just live here as like a little kid or whatever. She was here before she could talk or walk. She was here as an infant. She moved here. And then went to high school here. She graduated and went to Boston University, a very prestigious university. Then she decided that she was going to sign up for Communist Central Casting. Makes you wonder. Yorktown Police. Nice, look at that. Not defunded there. You ever seen a Starbucks like this? This is beautiful. Amazing thing just happened. Firefighter comes up to us and says, I know AOC. I knew her from high school. And she was mean. She was like a bully. Of course she's from here. She was raised here. Everybody knew her. Everybody knows her. And he doesn't know what the hell happened to her. He said she was like hanging out in his house all the time. What happened? What happened? Who hurt you? AOC, who hurt you? Maybe he was her boyfriend. Welcome to the beautiful Yorktown stage, where AOC learned to be a theater kid. Came in handy later in life, having to sell you a life of oppression, right? They got Jekyll and Hyde coming up in September, based on AOC. Nothing says true oppression like growing up next to a massive pickleball court at scale, okay? Gotta shut this place down. Rumor has it this is where AOC really found herself, really got in touch with her roots. The Mexican tequila bar in this beautiful, clean, happy, safe town.
After a very pleasant afternoon in Yorktown Heights, we realized we must be missing something. Time to head over to AOC's childhood home.
This is AOC's hood. You might get a untrimmed hedge here and there. Lawn gnome might jump out at you. This is AOC's street that she grew up on.
In fact, AOC's childhood home is appraised at close to $500,000 right now. And across the street, a Trump yard sign. Trump 2024.
Really? It's AOC's house.
We were even able to speak with some of AOC's neighbors that remember her all the way back to when she moved into the house as a little girl. Boy, did we hear some
It's
stories.
insane.
What an incredible place to be from. And while we were filming our outro for this video,
It's absolutely insane that these people know her and people
Right.
still believe her bullshit.
Yep. Yes, it is.
Art says, given where I lived growing up, I should be a raging liberal. It's not where, but who raises you. That is so true. That is a very true statement there.
this video, a man honked his horn and jumped out of his car wearing a MAGA hat. And guess what? He's a subscriber and he knows AOC.
It's beautiful here. Yeah, it's absolutely beautiful here. And AOC obviously was a resident and went to the high school that I went to as well. So
For a long time. She was here for close to 20 years.
yes, absolutely. Everyone knows that.
Yeah. People around here like Trump?
Absolutely, they do. A lot of people are quiet about it because they're afraid to lose friends. But I'm not afraid to lose friends for what's right. Absolutely.
What's your message to President Trump?
Oh, we love you. Just keep going. Finish the job. Go for the Federal Reserve, baby. Come on.
Maybe you can explain. This seems we've been here for 2 hours. We've been walking around. It's beautiful. It's patriotic. There's like American flags on every street. How could you become such a dirty communist growing up here?
If it walks like a duck and it talks like a duck, maybe it's a duck.
How's it possible?
I don't know. I don't think it is. I think it's fake. I think the mainstream media paints a different story than what you. If you interview anyone who's on the street here, I don't think those values are present. I don't.
Yeah. There's not a lot of communists here.
No, absolutely not. It's fake. Fake news. He's been saying it since 17, man. That's it.
Identity politics is the foundation of left-wing coded ideology. Demanding that the world accept your identity is paramount. So why is AOC ashamed of her identity, of where she came from?
And we asked, what does it mean to be two working class women showing up to the Met?
She never talks about Yorktown Heights, and I can't figure it out. Be true to yourself. Come out of the closet and embrace your white, leafy, suburban roots. Set an
I
example
like that.
for all these little kids living in safe, peaceful, low-crime, clean communities like the one you come from. We see you. You matter. Your identity is respected. AOC, you could literally save lives, or at least a couple of science projects.
But to do that, AOC would have to admit that her entire political life, she's been fighting against herself. And that would be the toughest battle of all.
Yeah. She really doesn't like being herself.
No, and that needs to be played if she does run for president.
Oh, yeah. Far and wide.
Mm-hmm.
It needs to be played. I don't like her. I have my reasons for not liking her. But, yeah. How did she even get elected? I still can't wrap my head around how she got elected.
I know. Any of
it
them.
don't make sense.
Any of them. Even what's going on right now with, Mandama, or what's his name?
Mamdani.
Modom, whatever it is.
Ma'am Donnie.
Mandani?
No, ma'am. M-A-M. Ma'am.
Ma'am? Dommy?
Donnie. D-A-N-I. But it's the A has an O sound.
Okay. Whatever.
Yeah, he doesn't really deserve his name pronounced properly, but you know, it is what it is. So, I'm looking. Do we have time? Oh, the sign language person. I think
Oh,
that's a great one.
yes.
That's a
That's
short we can cover really
hysterical.
quick.
Yes, that's hysterical, isn't it?
She was a blue dot in a red neighborhood. Not the first time that happened. So true. Um,
Time, huh?
and then he also says off year election with 20% of eligible voters actually voting. Get a majority of that 20% and you're in. Yeah, I know.
Mm-hmm.
I just wish more people were able to pull their heads together, get themselves together, and get out there and vote and understand what they were voting for. I really wish. But this one is worth covering because what the fudge is all I got to say. What the fudge?
Yep, with the fudge is right.
I mean, again, I don't know
I mean,
full sign language, but I
I'm
do know
getting it.
that a lot of this was wrong.
We'll play the clip and then we'll talk.
Okay, let's watch this craziness.
Accused of signing total gibberish. This time it was at the police news conference announcing an arrest in the Tampa serial killings.
We will be charging 4 counts of first-degree murder.
Standing off to the side, apparently translating every word, this woman.
We received over 5,000 tips in this case.
But it turns out much of what she was signing was nonsense. She waved her arms around like she was singing Jingle Bells, says one outraged sign language expert. The woman, identified as Derlin Roberts, has a string of arrests for fraud. So how did she come to be translating at last week's high-profile police news conference?
I just didn't ask enough questions.
Yeah.
You know, like
he's talking about murder and she's signing thank you. Or sorry. She signed I'm sorry. The circular around the chest is I'm sorry.
All I have to say is they need an HR person. And he needs to go. He really should be terminated.
Oh yeah, for not doing a better job.
I mean, how important is a press conference and you're going to have some dippity-doo off to the side just, making any kind of motions? That's pretty funny. I'm
Well,
surprised.
some of it was legitimate signs. It's just they weren't in the proper usage for what was being translated.
Wow. Her fingers
She
and her
had a
nails were just clicking and clacking.
yeah, she has like a barely there understanding of sign language, a little bit less than me. And yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, Art said there's a certification for interpreters. Just get one certified for the local court. Shaking my head.
Yep. Yep. Oh, people are idiots. Over and over and over again. I can't say it enough.
Yes, ma'am.
People are idiots. And I'm not talking us, I'm just talking, in general, human beings. Oh, Lord have mercy. Um, there was a couple other ones. Let me mark this off as I've done this. Was there anything else you wanted to cover?
No, do you have one more short, perhaps?
I am pretty sure I do. Give me a
And
moment.
We'll finish the day off with the final short. I think there's a couple. How about the one that you had to do that didn't have any? You couldn't use it because of the.
Oh, yeah.
How about
That one. Got it. One moment.
Okay. All right, now this one that's coming up, Crazy Bee was unable to use the commentary that went along with it due to copyright issues.
Yes.
So there's going to be no sound to this one. However, pay close attention and you will get the gist of the short. So this will be the final piece that we do today, and we will see everybody tomorrow.
1 second while I find it. I'm trying to remember this one. This is it. Okay. Let me pull this up and mute it for the sake of copyright issues. And we are going to hit play and see how it goes. I'm not sure how well it's coming through to everybody when it comes
If
to
you wanna,
visual, so I
yeah,
apologize.
if you wanna stop right there, I'll read it, and it says, "When you're a cat, but you got dog responsibilities." And at the bottom it says, "All right, kids, go learn something. I'll be here at 3." And it's kind of hard to see. I don't know. Can you zoom that out at all, Crazy Bee?
No, I
No,
can't.
it is the way it
It
is.
it came it
Okay.
when I saved the video. It saved the way it saves, and I don't know.
Okay,
So
gotcha. So
let's hit
there's,
play.
yeah, go ahead.
Oh, they zoom in on their end.
Okay.
You can see the little kitty.
Sitting in the snow, too.
Mm-hmm.
As the school bus leaves, he takes off. She takes off.
And the kids are off to school.
Uh-huh. We thought that was hysterical. The verbiage that goes with it, the mother gives the cat a kudos at the end. It was pretty adorable. I have never seen a cat sit at a school bus stop with children, wait till they get on the bus. The kids get on the bus, and the cat turns around and runs back inside. That was just hysterical. We've always seen dogs do it, but I've never seen a cat do it. So,
yep.
That's how we're ending the day today. As a reminder, we will be off on Friday. Crazy Bee, I don't know if you'll be going live Sunday or Monday, but I won't be back
I
until.
am going to put forth an effort since I have not been able to for over a month now. I feel really bad.
Okay.
I'm going to put forth a much better effort than I have.
Okay, I will not be available on Sunday, however, so I'll be back late Sunday night. So my reception will be iffy at best. So we shall see what we shall see. Other
Yep.
than
One
that,
day at a time, one thing at a
yep,
time. That is all we
yes,
can ever do.
correct. So we have 2 more days to go. I would appreciate personally I need some, keep me in your thoughts and prayers that we can kind of stay out of the hospital if possible. We're kind of getting into a serious little situation here, and hopefully things don't go awry. But we shall
Yep.
see. And of course, it is 5 o'clock, and hey, well, whatever. Why should anybody call
One day
back?
at a
Uh
time.
huh. Right. We can always go into the ER, but we'll see how that goes.
Fingers crossed, praying for
Yep.
otherwise.
Yep. We'll do something different. But yes, things are a little bit wonky right now. Off track, off
Yep.
kilter. So we're trying to take care of the baby at the same time. Things are wow. I passed out yesterday at I think 4:30 and came to at 12:30 a.m. and went back to bed, and I've been up since 4:30 again, so I'm probably going to pass out as soon as we hang up. And hopefully
That
we
sounds like a plan.
Yeah, and hopefully we will not have a screaming day tomorrow with the baby like we did today, but I'm not going to hold
Babies
my
are
breath.
babies and they're going to do what they're
Yep.
going to do.
Yep, I'm not going to hold my breath on that one. But it was a pretty wild day around here, I'll tell you that.
Oh, I hear you.
Anyway, but we have enough content to get us through Friday and actually probably through next Tuesday. But we would like to get back on track next week with some of the
I thought we aren't
projects that
doing
we have.
Friday.
I mean,
Thursday.
yeah, Thursday. So correct, Thursday, and probably enough to left over for Tuesday with then whatever happens over the weekend. So hopefully we can get back on track next week with some of the little projects we have planned.
Yep.
Because that's really the crux of what we like to do. But as we had mentioned previously, things are a little bit crazy. One thing I forgot to mention, Crazy Bee, was, yeah, when is it? Hold on a second. I didn't even think about this, but I'm gonna be away the week of from the 20th to the 27th.
Have fun.
Thank you.
We'll take a break.
Either take a
I
or
can do
go
I
solo.
can do a lot of research, editing, and gaming.
Sure.
And when you come back, we'll have lots to cover.
Okay, that works. And while I'm away, I
And that'll
can.
give me a chance to get further ahead on some of the project ones.
Okay.
And we'll just have fun from there.
Okay, so we are going to be taking a little summer break then from uh actually that'll be Saturday, July 19th through Sunday. Well, actually, unless you're going to do questions that need answers, but
Well,
uh,
I can do those, but
yeah,
I'm talking for Rec Sisters. We'll
okay.
take a break for the
Rex
week and
Sisters
get
will
caught
be,
up.
yeah, we'll be back on the 29th then of July. If perhaps I'll find out this weekend, Crazy Bee, how good service is going to be. If it works, potentially it could be doable, but we'll see. But maybe we just all need a break and just chill for a while.
Give you a couple of days off with no
Mm-hmm.
stress. I
Right.
can get caught up on editing. Not that
Yeah.
I'm really far behind, but I can
Right.
get ahead on the projects.
Right.
Not
And
so much
get
get caught up, but get ahead of them.
right. Yeah, because we have some big projects in the works that we need to get accomplished, and that would be great if we could pull some of that off, and I could do some research then while we're gone. That would work.
Yep.
All right, so we're gonna take an official break. So a summer break then.
But
Um,
I will still be doing things for fun and we will still be on, well, I'll be on Discord. I know you're going to be in the
right,
middle of nowhere with very
right.
little reception, but I'll keep an eye on the Discord and chat with everyone and we'll just have
Okay,
some fun
cool.
with it.
All right, and during that
But
week,
yeah, no harm taking a break and recouping.
right.
I mean, you need an actual break,
Well,
vacation, enjoy
actually,
it.
I'm just going to be being used, so I don't know what you're talking about. Just like this weekend, they're going to be on the boat, and I'll be with the baby. So it's not. It's going to be like I'm working full time. There, there is no break. So yeah,
Well, in
uh, yeah,
this
right.
case, there's less actual work to do. You
Eh,
will get your break from that and be able to focus on the little one.
eh, I'll be working. You know that. But the good news is
Oh,
during that
enjoy
week.
the grandbaby while you got him.
During that week, I will be celebrating my 43rd wedding anniversary. I can't believe it. Wow.
43 years.
Mm-hmm.
Almost as long as I've been alive.
Mm-hmm. It's
That's a
all
good
that.
thing to accomplish.
It
That
is.
is an amazing thing to accomplish. Not
Yep.
many people can have that to say.
And
They
it's
can't say
still,
I've made it in a relationship without going to prison,
yep,
abusing, burying a body of a
yep,
significant other.
yep. We still fight
That
like
is it.
cats and dogs, but and it's still
But
like
you haven't gone to
hard.
jail for it and you
No,
haven't buried each other
no, not yet.
without the cops knowing about the burial. So that
Not
is
yet.
a that is an
Bigger feat.
accomplishment.
Yeah, it is. Yeah, it is. It's hard to believe we've been together that long. It seems like yesterday.
But it's an awesome accomplishment to
Yeah.
be able to claim 43 years without putting your spouse secretly buried and
Hmm.
lie in the backyard.
I've I've a couple times threatened divorce, but never meant it. But we've never, from the day we met, we never broke up. We never like parted ways from one another. Uh, we never left the house and and stayed somewhere overnight and came back the next day and apologized. That never ever happened. So
That is
it's
an
been,
amazing
yeah,
accomplishment. And kudos to you guys for
yeah,
pulling it off.
yeah. I don't know how he puts up with me. I really don't. And
About the same way you put up with his punk ass, and you know it.
yeah, I
It's
do. But
love.
yeah, it is love.
Love and tolerance. You have
Yep.
to tolerate him because you need him as much as he needs you.
Yeah.
And you guys know it.
Yeah. He's really you take your vows and you really don't. Everybody goes through the motions, of,
Yeah.
in sickness and in health, and for richer
He
or
took it
poor.
seriously.
Oh
He's
shit,
still
yeah.
there.
Yeah, big time. In sickness and health part, he really got ripped off. I'll tell you.
um, Art says she didn't delete him, but may have Stockholm syndrome. LOL.
Wait, no, he may have Stockholm syndrome. Yeah, he might. We'll have to talk to him, Art. Uh,
Hey, I have seen some amazing people at some amazing eras in their life. People who've been married 50, 60 years, pushing 70 years of marriage. And yes, they were in their hundreds. Both of them made it to over a century.
yep.
And holy blazing goodness, it is funny when they threaten to hit each other over the head with a pot or a pan, or
Uh-huh.
you are going to sit down and do as she says, or I'm going to make sure you do. And yeah, it
Yep.
is just great. And
Yep.
you learn to laugh at it.
Hmm.
And, take advantage of, things may be miserable at the moment or frustrating, but in the overall picture, it's been good.
Right. I had a laugh. So I was on my way back to the bedroom, right? And I asked him to carry in my drink because I couldn't bring everything. He goes, "Well, you're just going to leave the baby laying on the couch?" I'm like, "He's not even here." He goes, "When did he come to get him?" I'm like, "You were in the kitchen. You were in the other kitchen." He goes, "Oh, I thought you just were going to leave him." I'm like I would leave him. Really? Seriously? Oh, I'm telling you. Sometimes I don't know how, we went up the hill, we're on the plateau, and now we're going down the hill. So we'll see how long it lasts.
Yep. Hold on. What in the world is this?
What? Which one?
Um, no, somebody sent family member sent money and I can't figure out how to withdraw. Oh, there it is. Got it. Okay.
There you go.
I'm having a day. Anyone else?
Yep. I had the same kind of day. Trust me. All right, everybody. Well, I'm out. I'm down. It's 5:09 here. It was raining again. What is up with all the rain this year? It's been raining like it seems like every day since the beginning of April.
I told you we've been getting it since January.
Yeah.
Nonstop tornadoes, all that shit. we're getting hit with one after another after another.
I think somebody might be manipulating the weather, perhaps.
I would agree. I believe it, is one of those 3 to 4 lettered agencies
Maybe.
that we complain about all the time.
I hear you. All right, everybody, you have a good evening, and we shall see you tomorrow.
Alrighty, folks. We shall catch you guys later. Stay safe, stay sane, stay sober. Peace out.
Good night.